Hi, Stephanie here with Mahalo.com. You know, divorce is never an easy option. It is especially difficult when you have children. So what do you do if you're getting divorced, and how do you tell your children? How do you help them cope? Well, joining us now is Dr. Sarah and Dr. Megan, both clinical psychologists. Thank you so much for being here. First step, how do you tell your child that you're getting divorced?
It's such a sensitive and delicate issue. It's really a hard one to approach. I think if you can take a collaborative approach, it's best. Oftentimes that's not the case. If it's a high conflict divorce or if there's too much tension between the parents, in those situations it might be nice to have the assistance of a mental health professional or maybe a neutral family member to be there. But if you can be collaborative with mom and dad present, it's the best way forward to sit with the child and talk to them about here's what's going to happen. Be really concrete. Be simple, use age-appropriate explanations of what's going on, definitely not going into the details as to, every dirty detail as to why the divorce needs to happen, but keeping it simple and providing reassurance and security for the child that no matter what, mom and dad still love you and we're going to be here for you and we're going to do everything we can to keep you safe and keep you having your things that you're used to having and that kind of thing. So providing that framework of safety and security and reassurance, but at the same time empathizing with them about how difficult it's going to be and how that they're going to feel sad and angry, normalizing those feelings so that they know that it's okay for them to get angry at mom and dad, because that's an important part of the process going forward.
Yeah, absolutely. And once you're separated and you're going through the divorce, I've read that the worst thing you can do is, badmouth the other parent. And I think that a lot of that happens. That must be pretty impactful on a child.
Definitely. Yeah. Definitely. I think a lot of children end up feeling like they're caught between the two parents and almost have to choose sides. And when parents start to badmouth one parent or the other, then that really puts the child in the position of feeling like they have to choose sides or they have to defend one parent versus another parent. I think consistency is really important. So the parents really need to work together and get on the same page in terms of what they're going to say, how they're going to say it. So if a child asks questions to mom versus dad, they're going to get very similar responses. And that both parents have agreed in terms of what they're going to be saying to their child. And it's really important to remember that siblings may respond differently. Even though you have two children who are in the same family and going through the same situation, one child may start crying and the other one may exhibit a lot of anger. And it's important to stay attuned to what your individual child's needs are.
In your experience, is there an ideal situation for a divorce? I've read studies where a lot of people don't like the joint custody, 3 days at one house, 4 days at another. I mean, have you guys seen, ideal situations?
Ideal is tough because what I see is it changes over time. So what might work best in the beginning of the divorce, then as the child grows and has new needs, it might change. So a certain custodial arrangement in the beginning works better, and then maybe a year or two in, something different works better. So I think if parents can be open and flexible is really important. A lot of times parents become very rigid and they want it to go one way versus the other, and a lot of times that's not really incorporating what the kid needs. The kid might at first want 3 days here and 3 days there, and then later on that becomes overwhelming. It's too much back and forth and they feel more comfortable with a week on, week off situation, for example. So I think if the parents can keep in mind being open and flexible, that is ideal. And oftentimes I think that process is facilitated by somebody like a mediator or a therapist or someone that can help those parents stay neutral and keeping their kids' best interest in mind.
Great
Sure.
advice.
And it's important not to just sit down and ask your children, what do you guys want? It's important as the parents to remember, you are the parents. You're the ones who, need to stay in charge and make the decision so that the children are feeling safe and feeling like, even though the parents are going to be in separate homes, they're both still going to be parenting and both be involved.
Yeah, good advice, parents. Definitely putting your own bad feelings aside and putting the needs of those kids first.
Right.
Thank you both so much.
Thank you.
If you'd like more information about parenting, you can click on any of the links you see here. You can also subscribe to Mahalo Parenting, and you can send us an email if you'd like a specific answer to a specific parenting topic at requests@mahalo.com. Thanks so much for watching.